Hello, welcome to Awake, Academy of Wealth, Alchemy, and Kinetic Energy. My name is Dr. Rebecca Solomon, and I have a wealth of life-changing information for you during this training on the frequency of success. So for the next hour, I really want you to pay attention to the different concepts and techniques and strategies that I will be talking about. So if you want, you could push pause and get a notebook and a pen or something to write with so that you remember this information. I really want this training to change you. Once again, this training will not only be an introduction to Awake, but it also will help you to obtain the true frequency of success starting right now. I sincerely hope that you decide to take this life-changing journey with myself and many other like-minded people, a place within where nothing is what it seems, everything is always perfect, and you have access to remembering who you truly are on a divine level. Your presence is very important on this planet today. Your life is your purpose, and your purpose is life. My favorite students to work with, or clients, are the ones who don't want an ordinary, okay life, but they want an extraordinary life where they're ready to bring their heaven to earth right now. And these are the techniques to teach you how to do that. If you decide to listen to this whole video, then you will receive emails with DNA activations and meditations as a follow-up. So I invite you to stay with me during the whole video, enjoy yourself, and reap the rewards afterwards. First, let me tell you that there are no mistakes in life. Your higher self is working with you 24/7. This is the first concept that I want you to know. What is your higher self? Your higher self is that part of you, that all-knowing self that is connected with that energy that we're talking about, that 0-point energy, which also can be referred to as creator, source, universal energy, whatever your belief system is, just plug that in. Your higher self is the part of you that's connected to that. The higher self is not ran by the ego. So the higher self thinks differently than our 3D selves. Where turbulence comes in our life is when the higher self is trying to get something across to us that our 3D selves cannot grasp because there's programs, blocks, fears, and rules in the way that we've learned throughout our entire life. So sometimes our higher self has to get things done in the way it knows how to. And that's where you might say, hey, I've experienced a streak of bad luck, or things just aren't going right for me. Have you ever had a time in your life where you've had a breakup or a loss of a job or something that's happened that made you feel devastated, only later to think about it and say, that was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. That process brought me to where I'm at now. I'm actually glad that happened. Now I'm with my true love, or now I have the job that I truly enjoy, or my health is better than ever since that happened. What if you could create a reality where your higher self can speak to your 3D self and you don't have to experience the turbulence, the suffering, and everything in between? That's what you're here to learn. That's what my academy teaches you. In Awake, my students and I are constantly working on conscious creation. It's fun, it's empowering, and it's a journey that you don't want to miss. The second concept I really want you to pay attention to is intuition. The process where the 3D self communicates with the higher self is going to happen through your awareness of your intuition. That's going to be the pathway. Every person watching this right now, and by the way, if you're here watching this, you're meant to be here. Every person, including you, has intuition and clairvoyance. However, through our everyday experiences, we learn to turn off our intuition and our clairvoyance since childhood, actually. Your intuition is the part of you that just knows. It is not a brain thing. It is your innate internal compass. Once again, intuition is one of the most important gifts that you already have. If you decide to awaken this, it will enhance every single aspect of your life. Your love life, your health, your career, your personal life, everything about you will shift. It is such an important tool to realize that you have and to use on a daily basis. Sometimes that intuition is buried deep inside of us, underneath the limiting beliefs, the fear, the guilt, the programming, and other low frequency energies that we've accumulated through our lifetime. Let me give you a perfect example of how that intuition could be buried. I have an amazing student in Awake, and she shared this story with me, and I asked permission to share it so that you can learn from it. When she was 3 or 4 years old, she lived across the street from her grandmother. And one day she knew that her grandmother was in trouble. So she told her parents, I want to go see Mammy, but her parents wouldn't let her. So she figured out how to unlock the door, went across the street at such an early age, went in to find her grandmother laying on the ground suffering. Well, of course, her parents went after her. They were trying to find her, so they knew she wanted to go to Mammy's house. So they went across the street, they went into her grandmother's house, and there she was with her grandmother, caring for her fallen grandmother who was suffering on the ground. Her grandmother turned out to be fine. She was hospitalized. However, instead of being rewarded or praised for her heroic intuitive abilities, she was punished, and her punishment was so harsh that she remembers that being one of the first times that she turned off that internal compass because it got her in trouble. This is often what happens to many people. So throughout this process, you're just remembering that this is a useful tool that you want to bring back into your reality. And now you're stepping into your power to have the ability to use it with your own permission. I challenge you to practice recognizing your intuition starting now. This will be your path to trusting and communicating with your all-knowing higher self. In Awake, we spend quite a bit of time on this subject, and hundreds of students have shifted their lives tremendously because of this. So intuition is the part of you that just knows. Usually it comes as an instantaneous thought. It's the first thing you feel, the first thing you recognize, the first thing that you think that you often push aside. And later you may wonder, I was thinking that, why didn't I follow my intuition? So the practice is around doing it and trusting it. And we go much deeper into this in my academy, but I just want you to practice that even right now in your daily lives. The next concept that I want you to know, and I say this all the time, and this actually changed my life drastically with working with students and clients. I always say that you must heal yourself and activate yourself first before you even consider healing and working on others. And that's no matter what you're doing. If you want to help others in your life in any capacity, even your children, you must first activate yourself. When you invest the time and energy in yourself, and you spend this time finding the authentic you and unconditionally loving yourself, you will resolve the blocks, the programs, the fears, the lower vibrational frequencies that are currently residing in many levels of your being, and activate your own light body. What happens when you activate your light body? This is such a beautiful process. It's that part of you that finds the authentic, purposeful self. And when you do that, you're actually activating dormant DNA within the body. And when that dormant DNA activates, the frequency of your light, of your consciousness, is connected to the frequency of the higher self, which is connected to the frequency of that zero point, that creator source, universal energy. And when that happens, that's a frequency that's contagious. Lower frequencies cannot live in these higher frequencies. So if you're walking around radiating with your light body activated in this higher frequency, the second you think about somebody or bring them into your awareness or consciousness, you are shifting them. That is the ultimate way to live life and heal. Your external reality starts to match your internal reality, and everything around you becomes magic. So remember, when you are activated, when you spend the time doing this, you are not only bringing your own heaven to earth, but you're helping others to do so at the same time. One of the programs that I spend time working on with people is the martyring program, and that is the belief that you need to suffer and you need to feel weighted or tired or stressed when you help other people. You may be able to help other people, but only one person at a time. When you activate, you will activate 144,000 people. That's the rule in spirituality. When you're activated and you spend this time healing yourself and unconditionally loving yourself, you will activate 144,000 people that will then activate another 144,000 people. And this is, in essence, how the planet will heal. But how many people do you know think that way, that walk around on a daily basis focusing on the unconditional love that they need to have for themselves, bringing their own authentic purpose to life so that they can become the activation that heals everybody else around them? So I challenge you to know that you have to heal yourself, that you have to activate yourself, that you need to bring your authentic version of yourself to life in order to help anybody around you. So start thinking about that right now. The next concept. All healing is ultimately self-healing. You can have, and I recommend having, amazing teachers or healers, but you must be consciously active in the process. You must be a part of your own healing process. It's a 24/7 adventure. So one thing with Awake, I tell my students, you don't want to take Awake when you have months off of your life. You want to take Awake during your real life, because when you take this academy during your real life, then everything is going to come up that you need to heal. This is a process of being, of consciously creating every day and healing every day in your life. And as you step into your power and you give yourself permission to heal, is when instantaneous healing happens. It's important that you have an activated teacher. The practitioner, it's important that you have an activated practitioner, but they are just that guiding light for you. It's you stepping into your power and giving yourself permission to heal and saying, I can do this for me, is what really matters. And I want you to make that affirmation declaration right now. I can heal for myself starting now. Let's go into how to obtain the frequency of all that is universal energy, creator source, or that beautiful 0 point that we talk about. First, let me explain how this creates your reality. This is true. Please just have an open mind around this concept. Sometimes it takes people a little while to really grasp this and believe what I'm saying, but when you do, miracles will happen instantaneously. I promise you. Let's talk about miracles. A miracle is only a miracle because you believe it is outside the possibility of happening for you. When you start to see miracles happen in your everyday reality and you've stretched your consciousness enough to include that energy set in it, it's no longer a miracle. So when you accept little miracles, they become bigger and bigger and bigger, and that is your reality. So once again, when you expand your consciousness and let these miracles in, your reality can change the snap of a finger. The 0 point frequency is the frequency of all that is. God, creator, source, universal energy, whatever you want to say. People just choose to define it differently. It is the highest frequency of all that is. It is pure, unconditional love, grace, non-judgment, mercy. It has all the higher vibrational frequencies in it that heal instantaneously. The secret is bypassing the ego and letting that into the field of the heart. It is the point within the field of the heart where nothing and everything exists at the same time simultaneously. The 0 point is not ruled by time. It is a point where you're not ruled by your past mistakes or your future worries, but you're ruled by the here and now. And the frequencies that you decide to embody here and now will determine your reality. The 0 point is essentially a clean slate and can save a tremendous amount of time healing. Okay, so now here's the next concept that I want you to think about and embody. How do we create from the field of the heart in a way that is beneficial to us? In Awake, we do spend quite a bit of time learning how to really embody the field of the heart. But for right now, you just want to think about something that brings you to a compassionate place, that brings you to unconditional love. You want to imagine breathing through your heart rather than just through your nose and mouth. Bring your nose and mouth into the field of the heart. And this is also in the free meditation that you'll get at the end of this video as well. So it's about a 20-minute meditation where you'll learn how to do this, but you're breathing through the field of the heart, and you're knowing that that is essentially where the purest form of you exists. So as you're doing this, imagine your heart as a movie projector. That projector is responsible for projecting the frequencies from the heart space into our external realities. That projector is what makes the 3D movie of our life. Now, what is the film? Because the projector has to play some sort of movie out, has to have a script. The film that goes in the projector is the frequencies of the emotions we're feeling, the belief systems that we have, the programs, the feelings that we are feeling every day. That is what goes into the projector. So those frequencies, those scripts that we're carrying around are what goes from the projector into the 3D reality. So essentially, if we want to change anything, and I mean anything in the external world, we have to change our internal projector first. The instant you change the film, rewrite the film, reprogram the film, the movie of your external reality will change 100% instantaneously. This isn't a process of luck. There is no other choice. It is the law of attraction. So think about what you are putting in your projector right now in the form of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your programs, your beliefs, what you're resonating at in an everyday basis, and practice this accordingly. When we talk about frequency work, which we do go into this in depth in Awake, we're talking about frequencies such as unconditional love, gratitude, forgiveness, grace, mercy, non-judgment, laughter, and joy, versus the frequencies of resentment, anger, shame, doubt, guilt, fear. Remember, the higher frequencies are the frequencies of the love and the joy. The lower frequencies are the ones of the fear and the guilt and the resentment. So you always want to remain in higher frequencies to attract the frequency that matches in your external reality. If you're residing in lower frequencies, you're going to notice suffering and a streak of bad luck in your life, bad relationships, disease, illness, lack, poverty. So it's really important to pay attention to this frequency work. Take some time to ponder these questions. When you think about money, if I bring up the subject of money to you, what frequencies come in? Are you stressed? Do you feel like lack around it? Does it make you angry? Are you resentful? Or do you think of money as the frequency of joy and freedom? Think about that and work on that. What is the frequency you associate with your love life? When you think about being in a relationship or your past relationships, do you feel resentful? Do you feel angry? Do you feel shameful? Do you feel guilt? Think about that, because these are all things that need to be worked out. You want to be able to think about money or relationships or health and feel positive frequencies around it. That has to be the first change starting now. So I challenge you to work on that as well, starting right now. Awake is very thorough with these quantum shifts that we are talking about. My students and I dive deep into this in our academy, but I want you to just start focusing on it right now as well. The next concept, I will tell you that these limiting programs, fears, beliefs, etc. are not just in the conscious mind. They are in your subconscious mind as well. They are residing in your DNA. They are residing in your auric field, which is connected to the collective consciousness. So that's something that I want you to be aware of. What's going on in our brains is only 10% of what's really going on. The other 90% is behind the scenes within the subconscious and even deeper, as I just explained. So energy work is profound, and this is why I think that energy work is so important. Just doing life coaching and focusing just on the subconscious is not as thorough as energy work. When you learn energy work, you will learn to clear this past the conscious, past the subconscious, past the DNA, into the auric field, and at a soul level. Once again, I have seen instantaneous healings with this work. I have seen miracles with this work. This is where the real quantum shifts occur. So around 8 months ago, I had a ultrasound done where I had an endometriosis pattern, and they said we'll test this in 2 months to see if you have endometriosis or not. So I knew I had 2 months to clear this. So I decided to make a vacation out of it. I went to Costa Rica, spent a week clearing this. It was not conscious, it was not subconscious. I was reading stories from my DNA, from my ancestors, mother guilt, shame, doubt, fear around femininity. So I spent the whole week clearing it at such deep levels. I went back to the doctor, they retested me, and it came back completely negative. Once again, I did that within a week. It is such powerful, profound work. And I invite you to think about doing this for yourself starting right now. In Awake, the students love learning how to do this step by step for themselves. And then it just becomes organic. So when they decide to heal others, it's just part of who they are. So they're essentially living their purpose. They're remembering how they're supposed to be on this beautiful planet, on Earth, bringing the different interdimensional frequencies to their here and now. And they can do this for other people. Now, the next concept is, let's talk about what energy work is. When people say to you, I'm doing energy work, or I'm going to an energy worker, what is it? Okay, so I have the perfect metaphor for you. Think about laser surgery. I think everyone who's watching this is probably familiar with what laser surgery is. Think about yourself when you become activated as the laser. The laser is the conduit for the frequencies. So it's very important for the laser to be clear. You wouldn't want the laser to be clogged up. So it's very important to have a clear laser. So when you do energy work, you or the practitioner is the laser. Essentially, you want to be your own laser, and you want to get rid of the stagnant frequencies that may be blocking you. And when you do, you enter into that 0-point frequency, where you're harnessing the higher frequencies of all that is, that do the healing, the same as a laser. You can do research. Lasers actually have frequencies of crystals, and we know that crystals resonate with the frequency of unconditional love and the higher frequencies that we're talking about. So the laser is the conduit for the frequencies. The focus and intent is very important. When laser surgery is done to somebody, the laser is pointing someplace. It's focused someplace. It's usually fine-tuned, and that's where the focus and intent is. So essentially, you're the conduit with the frequencies going through you. Your focus and intention is where it's pointed at, whether it be with you, your family, a client, whatever you are focusing on is extremely important. And when you push activate on that laser, and the laser starts to do the healing, that translates to you witnessing. So once you witness something happening, then it's done. In energy work or in this reality, something must be witnessed in order for it to be done. So let's just go through this again. You're the laser. You're clearing yourself, all of your blocks. You're allowing the 0-point frequency to come through you. You're focused on what you want to be focused on with the intent of whatever it is that you want to intend. Let's say it's healing. And then you witness it being done. You are a witness to this healing. You have just done energy work. So do you see how important it is to have a clear laser so that you can be the conduit for the frequencies that come through you? That's a perfect example. And I want you to start thinking about that right now as though you're a walking laser. Once again, we go into depth in this in the academy, but this is a really good start for you just to begin to understand how energy work can play out in your own life in such profound ways. Right now, with you being aware that these concepts exist, it is shifting your awareness. It's making you think about things differently. Therefore, when you're thinking about things differently, you're witnessing things differently. In essence, just you listening to this video right now is shifting your reality. So take a deep breath and feel so proud of yourself for taking this time out to listen to this video and invest even this moment in yourself. I'm so proud of you. So the next challenge is go through the rest of the day, go through the rest of your everyday life, witnessing things in a different way than what you used to. Things that you used to see as negative, find the positive in them. If someone is talking to you and you're perceiving it one way, find a different way to perceive it. Remember, bring different frequencies into each event that you're experiencing throughout your everyday life. Witness it differently, and I promise you, your reality will shift now. Let me tell you a little bit about me and how I came to my destiny of teaching the Awake Academy. I hope to be your teacher, so I do want you to get to know how I came here and a little bit about me. I was born into a family of 4 sisters in a single home, and I lived with my mom and dad. My dad worked on the railroad all of my childhood, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom until I was 10. And then she went back to nursing school and took full-time jobs during the process to help support the family as well. I was born psychic, and you don't really know you're born psychic until you realize that everybody else isn't the same way. So I always could read people's energies and thoughts, and if 2 people were talking, I would know where they were both coming from, and I would think, well, why aren't they understanding each other? So then at such an early age, even with my family, I would walk up to them and be like, what she's saying is this, what she's saying is this. So you're really talking about the same thing. And once I would clarify what each other was thinking, then they would just essentially look at each other and be like, oh, okay, I get it now. So I could take like this drawn out fight and basically solve it in a matter of minutes. So of course, I took this on as my responsibility throughout my life to do for my family and my friends. I knew at an early age that I had to start meditating. I actually started actively meditating at the age of 14 or 15 years old. I knew and understood the law of attraction at a very early age. My mom was very open to paranormal stuff. So I would say she's spiritual, but in a different way than me. But she was very open, so I wasn't shut down as a child. She would actually put my sisters and I in different rooms, and she would say to me, draw what your sister is thinking. And we would draw what each other's thinking. We would practice doing past life regressions. I remember the first past life regression I've ever done was at the age of 10 to my 8-year-old sister. And then later I learned how to heal the lifehood, which we go into within the Academy of Awake. Also at a very early age, I knew I was being divinely guided by what I now call my guardian parents, which are an aspect of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And I've had these guardian parents ever since I can remember. However, my life was not all perfect. But one of the best things I've ever done for myself was get out of the victim mentality. And there was many things that have happened to me where I could easily, and I have easily fallen into victim mentality. But within that victim mentality is those lower frequencies that we want to avoid. My life presented many obstacles that I would later have to spend time and energy and focus healing. And that's how I got to be where I'm at now for you. My dad was an alcoholic who was verbally, emotionally, and physically abusive. I remember at times not being able to sit on the school bus because I had welt marks all over my legs. I felt ashamed of myself and embarrassed. I felt unworthy and unlovable. Luckily, my sisters and my mom were very loving. We all had an extremely close relationship. So I had that part of my life where I did experience unconditional love. But then there was the part of my life where I remember looking at my dad like a monster. When my mom had to go to work because my dad was basically drinking up all the money, when my mom had to become a nurse and work full time, that was my only source of protection. I was 10 years old. My dad started doing wild things like chasing my sister and I with a gun. I literally remember running from my dad, jumping over a hill so that he wouldn't shoot me. Many times this had happened. I remember going to sleep at night, scared of my dreams, because in my dreams I was always hiding from my dad as he was trying to find me and kill me. My mother, whenever I confronted her and I told her we need to leave him, she would say, I would leave him, but we don't have the money to leave him. He's the one with the money. If it wasn't for money, then we could leave him. So can you imagine the programming that I had to work through in reference to men and money? That was huge for me. So just hearing about what I went through, it took me a while to realize I was doing this, but my first 3 important relationships with men in my life, each time I met a man and I became serious with him, they would lose their job and they couldn't find other jobs. And I would be the only one working. And it took me years to realize, because I am a manifester. I definitely manifest. And remember, not all manifesting is positive, because we are manifesting 24/7. So when people talk about manifesting, they usually mean conscious manifesting, where they're creating the reality they want. However, there is counter manifesting, where you're creating a reality you don't want because of the experiences that you're holding on to, that you've been through, and the fears associated around them. So I had this program where no man of mine was going to make money and destroy my life by threatening me with it, like my dad did to my mom. So I went through 3 pretty important relationships before I realized I even had this program, and I was able to resolve it, which has been a godsend for my life, as you can imagine. Now let's talk about empathy. I was an empathic child, which, people who are psychic, and most children are born empathic. They pick up on other people's emotions and feelings, and then they start to try to balance their family. So like if you're born in a family where there's fighting or discord, as that child, you may be the one who tries to create harmony within the family by taking on the energy of what's going on, the imprints from your mom or your dad or your siblings. You may be taking on, at an unconscious level, their problems. What happens is you hold weight because you're too scared to let it go. If you let it go, it's going to hurt those around you, because it's only safe if you hold it. I was over 100 pounds overweight in middle school. I finally, because like I said, I started meditating at the age of 14 and 15. I finally, in the 10th grade, lost that 100 pounds by learning to release these energies that were no longer my responsibility to hold. This can change your life as an empath when you learn how to do this. Because remember, the real way to heal someone is by healing you first, and you don't want to hold on to all that ickiness. When you let it go, you're going to heal the people around you by just being you. So I do want you to think about that. If you've ever thought, I'm an empath, think about releasing that program of martyring, which is holding on to things for other people that you shouldn't be holding on to, because you need to let them find that activation within themselves. And this was a learning process for me. So of course, by the age of 12, I knew I was going to be in the helping profession. I was going to help people because I had this ability to read people and understand them at a level that seemed to be paranormal, and they would shift rather fast, just me talking to them. So back then, I didn't even know that an integrative energy medicine degree existed. So of course, I went through my schooling to be a psychotherapist. I went even into graduate school. I went through 9 years of school to obtain a license to help others through the field of psychology. But with that, what I felt is there was such limiting information. Even going to graduate school, I was like, this isn't really how it works. This isn't how you help people. So I actually had to pretend during the videotapings that we had in graduate school. We had like mock counseling. I had to pretend to be able to pass, because I knew that the real way to heal people was at such a deeper level that wasn't accepted during that time of my graduate school. So I knew that I could create anything I put my mind to. I've known that at such an early age. So I did know, I've had this degree in psychology, this graduate degree, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this practice, which led to not just mental health practices, but primary care practices along the way. So I owned 3 large primary care mental health practices for a large portion of my life. And during this process, I was diving deeply into energy work because it was my passion. I was learning and studying and being certified in everything I could get my hands on, and learning to teach it along the way. That's how I'm able to teach it to you. I used to say I lived in heaven and hell. Heaven being the major spiritual journey I was going on, hell being the traditional mental health and primary care practices that I owned. This became so burdensome for me. And I still had my programming to deal with men. So the only relationships I would attract into my life were relationships where I wasn't truly in love with the person. I would attract, and this is so freeing for me to say this, I would attract the narcissist in my life because I was too scared to fall deeply in love and to let go into that love and trust that true love could exist for me. So I had these practices where I was making a lot of money, and I also had a relationship. I was married and I had beautiful children with this man. I had 3 beautiful children with the man, but I wasn't in love with him. We did not connect. So I wasn't truly happy. I knew I wasn't living my life purpose, but I was stuck, and I mean stuck, because I was stuck in a full-time career that took up a lot of energy and time, 3 beautiful children, and married, and I knew this all had to change. I had to divorce my practice and my husband, then step into my true authentic self and go 100% into integrative energy healing. This was my huge process of surrendering, but it's the best thing that I've ever done. Did I think I could do it? No. My higher self told me constantly, because I get messages from my guardian parents and my higher self about what I'm supposed to do. I didn't listen because I was too scared to let go of my husband, to let go of these practices that I knew were not serving me. I didn't believe in pharmaceutical medications and conventional treatment. But it was hard to let go of. So guess what? My higher self had to take over. I had to go through a lot of bad luck and tumultuous events to be able to get into my surrendering, to ultimately let go, to allow me at the place I'm at now. I'm here to help you so you can get your heaven on earth without going through the tumultuous chain of events or bad luck to get there, because your higher self is trying to tell you something. So eventually, I divorced my husband, I divorced the large practice, and started focusing full-fledged on diving into my authentic purpose in life, surrendering into the divine knowing that I was going to be taken care of because I had the courage to do this. I worked on my vulnerability, and that is the allowance of letting magical things happen to me by receiving unconditional love and trusting that I can receive unconditional love and that I can learn to love myself in the way that every human being deserves to love themselves. So now, through that, I have created my heaven on earth, and I can actually declare that. I'm in love with my twin flame. We got married on February 20th of 2020, and I wake up next to this man every day and thank my lucky stars that I'm with him. And he does me too. We tell each other constantly how lucky we are to have one another. We kiss passionately every day. And we have this beautiful life together, but it took a lot of work on myself and surrendering and investment in myself to get there. I have a career that I would wake up and do for free every day, but I'm abundantly rewarded by the universe because I've let my authentic self come out and play. And the universe just loves that. And that's what the universe wants for you. Trust me, I know how hard it is to feel like you're cemented and you can't get out. And I know the fears and the doubt and all of those programs that creep up every day and talk to you. But I'm here to tell you that if you just take that plunge and surrender into your divine purpose in life, the universe will support you in a way that you never thought imaginable before. Remember, there is a point in the 0 point where everything just flows. So you can have money and be miserable in your love life. You can have a happy relationship and yet not have money. You might have money and be sick, but the 0 point is where everything just flows because you're divinely, unconditionally allowing that magical love to go within yourself and your authentic self to come out and play. And it's the 0 point where everything flows into one. The universe just rewards you for being you. It's the law of attraction. In this 0 point is where you will have true love, true wealth, and true health. It's just your divine birthright to do so. Remember this, write it down, write it on your mirror. I'm encouraging you to have a life that just isn't okay. but that is extraordinary, bringing your heaven to earth. If you can think about what you want in your life, then you can have it. Imagination is creation, and creation is imagination. Allow the world to be your playground. If you're living a mediocre, okay life every day, you're essentially just waiting to die. You know, what's next after that okay life? When's it going to change? You have the capability and the power to do that now. My mission is for myself and my students to have a life that they can celebrate on a daily basis, and they can create and they can claim their current reality as their heaven on earth. I'm sure you've heard people talk about the 3D, the 4D, and the 5D, and you're like, okay, all these dimensions, how do I get there? And you hear, we're ascending into the fourth dimension, so we're going to have all these symptoms like fatigue and illness come. What is it that people are talking about? And how do we know we're even in these dimensions? When you work on yourself and you free yourself from that stuck, stagnant energies, and you're activating your light body, you're connecting to a frequency that's higher than the 3D frequency. You're connecting to 4D, to 5D, to 6D. It doesn't mean you're going to wake up and your reality is going to be different, like you're going to be sleeping on a cloud. You have to notice what's different. When you start entering into the 4D or the 5D, your life around you starts to shift. And it literally can be miraculous. I will give you an example. When I divorced my old practice, of course I had some loose ends to tie up. And one of those loose ends was the IRS saying, okay, you owe some back payroll of $20,000. And, you know, I didn't think I owed it, but they said I did. And it was like this IRS battle. But then, you know, I kind of put that on the back burner. I was going to take care of it. And I went and started doing treatment for myself. And I decided I needed to clear my programming around the masculine. Just because I was hurt by a man doesn't mean I was hurt by the divine masculine. I was hurt by that man's ego. That wasn't masculine energy. It was egotistical energy. So I started saying, I love the divine masculine. I love the masculine. I didn't even think too much about it. But literally 2 days later, I get a call from the IRS saying that they made a mistake and I don't even owe that money. And I was like, whoa, that was me going into a different dimensional energy, and therefore my reality was changing, but it looked like my current reality. It was just a shift into a different frequency, into a different dimension that presented itself in my everyday life. That can happen to you with everything starting right now. I could go on forever talking about this. This is why my academy is so long, because I have such a wealth of information in there, life-changing strategies and techniques, things that you can do for your clients, things that you can do for yourself, and then do organically for your life. You can make a career out of this. It can be fun. But I hope that you've learned a lot in this video, learning about the true frequency of success and how you can do this for yourself starting right now. Let me tell you how Awake came about. This takes an act of courage to actually come out and say this, but I'm trying to be as authentic as possible. A few years before Awake was created, I was approached at this spiritual retreat by a guru. You know, I looked at him as a guru. He's phenomenal. And he said, "Hey, Rebecca, I've channeled this symbols that are important for you." And it was a portal. It was like a triangle, like a pyramid with spirals through it, and it was definitely portals. So I knew, I was told by my guardian parents, my divine messages, these need to go on your forearm. But I'm not one who is used to getting tattoos, so I got these invisible tattoos on my forearm, not really knowing what they were going to be used for. Well, during my process of surrendering, where I left my practice and surrendered into my vulnerable self, I felt like I'd opened up a gateway into that divine frequency that we were talking about. And when you open yourself up to that divine frequency, magical, amazing things happen. One night, I was visited in my room when I was sleeping. This did not seem like a dream to me. My guardian beings walked into the room, and I looked up. At first, I was sort of shocked and scared, and I said, "I know you." And the Father, the Divine Father, smiled and said, "Yes, you do." took my arms and downloaded what felt like this sludge into my tattoos. I fell back to sleep, woke straight up, looked at my now husband, we were just dating at the time, and I said, Academy of Wealth, Alchemy, and Kinetic Energy. That's what I need to create. That's what they just told me. Academy of Wealth, Alchemy, because wealth isn't just about money, it's about prosperity in all areas of your life. But the kinetic energy, when I looked that up and I typed in kinetic energy for spirituality, it's vitality. So that made so much sense to me because I'm very big into de-aging. So the Academy of Wealth, Alchemy, and Kinetic Energy is a way to revitalize, be vital all the time while you're learning to create wealth in all areas of your life. And the guardian beings told me, we are bringing our children to you so that they can help activate the world as we know it. And I do know that part of my main mission in life is to bring the twin flames together, because twin flames are so important. You cannot manifest a twin flame without truly loving yourself first. At least a twin flame that's in harmony with you, which is what everybody wants. You must be in harmony with yourself first, so that self-love is important. But one of my main passions is to get you there so you can attract that twin flame. And when the twin flames come together, when the divine masculine and feminine come together in that reunion, there is a magical shield of energy that opens up and just protects everybody around them. It really helps to activate the world and this reality as we know it and to heal the planet. So let's get into a little bit about Awake. Awake is a 16-week academy with lifetime access. This is extremely important because there is a lot in this academy. You start off with basic techniques, so anybody can learn it. How do you get into the field of the heart? How do you connect with the energy of all that is? How do you even meditate? And it goes all the way into techniques such as healing the physical body as a hologram, remote viewing, etc., etc., etc. You'll read all about it in the ebook and even on my website. So it's important that you have lifetime access, because at the end of 16 weeks, you're going to have all the information that you need to be certified as an integrative energy healing practitioner. And you can choose to do this as a career, or you can choose to take the information and this life-changing wealth of energy that you receive from Awake and do whatever you want with it in your life. But if you decide to take on clients, then you can always come back 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and relearn anything you need to relearn, refresh on anything you need to refresh. If there's new information on there, it will be yours for free. And then through Awake, you will always be a lifetime member. You'll always have access to healing yourself and healing others. The Awake Academy consists of videos and life-changing meditations, which I channel these meditations from the downloads that I received, so I don't even remember them, but my students absolutely love them. So you get videos, you get the meditations, you get the PDFs, and then there are 6 interactive Zoom calls a week, because that's important. You want to get on these Zoom calls and we have question and answer, and then we have Zoom calls where you're in breakout rooms with other people one-on-one. So it would just be you and somebody else in a breakout room with myself or another teacher supervising you as you practice these techniques on others, and then you are getting yourself healed as well. It's such a beautiful, magical process, and it's worked out so tremendously. There's office hours so that you can meet with me one-on-one when you have any questions, and I am the one that teaches the academy. There are a couple other teachers that help me with the breakout sessions, or they might do the Zoom calls whenever I'm on vacation or I'm doing something. You know, I have the backup and the resources and the staff that I need, but I make sure to make myself present for you. When you join Awake, I take this very personally. I am honored that you are putting your energy set in my hands. And once again, it's not me that's healing you, but I want to be that conduit for you to receive this amazing healing energy and activate yourself so that you can do it for others as well. During the process, you will meet a like-minded community, your soul tribe, students that you'll be working with one-on-one during the Zoom calls, but also outside of the Zoom calls. I encourage you to work with several partners during this process. You will create a student profile on my website, which will later If you choose to, if your goal in this is to become certified as an integrative energy healing practitioner, then you can take the student profile when you're certified and move it over to the expert profile so that you can start getting clients from my site as well. Remember, many students who take Awake choose to do this because it's a way of life, and they have other careers that they are doing. I have people that are lawyers, real estate workers, scientists, engineers, but then I have the people also that want to do this as a career. No matter what, this program is fitting for all. When you become an integrative energy healing practitioner, you will have the freedom to see people in all of the states of the United States, Canada, whatever country that you are from. You can see people in that country and in other countries as well, over Zoom, over the phone, doing remote. It opens up so much freedom in your life. And with Awake, I make sure at the end of it to get into the business portion with you. Grow your business, create a business. We go over like how to do the social media, the website, the logos, the mission statements, how to brand yourself, what you want to do, what your niche is, what would you do for free every day anyways and get paid for. We find this within you during the process of Awake. We have business calls that we do weekly where you can choose to get on the business calls and we do question and answer. So I don't leave you after you're done with the certification. I help you to grow from the certification into a career or further your own career, no matter what it is, when you complete the academy. This academy, as you can tell, is well thought out and implemented. Please take some time to review the testimonials. Don't take my word for it. Review the testimonials on my website. Look through my ebook. It's called Success and Beyond. And schedule a consultation with me. And I would love to answer any further questions that you have. The links are on this page. If you're ready to sign up and you know this is for you, just click on the sign up link and go forward. I look forward to meeting with you. Is there an investment for this academy? Absolutely. However, it is only a fraction of the cost compared to other academies because I have trained and been certified to teach these modalities that I'm certifying you in. So I don't have to employ other teachers under me. I want you to get elite VIB training at a fraction of the cost. However, remember, my ideal students are the ones that want to invest in themselves, that want to go forward, that know how important not just the money is to invest in yourself, but the energy and time. One of the things I don't like to hear is, I don't have enough time to do this. I'm too busy, but I want to change my life. Well, you're not going to be able to change your life if you don't take the time to invest in yourself. And remember, this is meant to do right now during your everyday life, so that you can create your heaven on earth starting now. When is the time going to be right? Think about that. When is the time going to be right? I really enjoyed offering this free training for you, and I hope that you decide to take the journey with me through Awake. And I hope that we get to know each other on such a deeper level. Thank you so much for your time and energy and for you focusing on this video. And I hope that you enjoy the future meditations that come through your emails as well. I look forward to talking with you soon. The next part of this video will be going over in detail some of the modules and content that you'll be learning in Awake. I hope you enjoy. So the beginning of this course, we will be doing a spiritual detox. This is probably one of the most important aspects of the course because if you think of yourself, you need to vibrate at a high frequency. If you have low frequency discarnate energies or stagnant energies in your body, you're unable to vibrate at a high frequency. And this energy attracts like into your life, which is where you get bad luck, as I was saying earlier. So you'll be receiving a spiritual detox, removing any discarnate, stagnant, low frequency energies from your body, such as any psychic cords or imprints, and there's many other things in there. People even have attachments or waywords to them. Also, you will learn how to do this with your clients as well, and you can see the extreme importance in doing this. Next, you'll be learning about soul fragmenting, or what they call in psychology disassociating, and that's when there's grief or trauma within your life that happens and part of you breaks off. So as you can see by the picture, it's literally like pieces of you are outside of yourself. Oftentimes, people feel very dazed and confused. They have memory loss. They don't really feel complete. They feel numb or empty. So, we're going to be spending some time reintegrating your soul fragments. And then, after you reintegrate your soul fragments, you're also going to be learning how to do this for your clients. This is invaluable. The next part of this is also extremely important. And like I was saying earlier, you need this in all areas of your life, no matter what you do for a job. You need it in your personal life, in your spiritual life, with your health, and that is developing and strengthening your intuition or clairvoyance. I've been to a lot of energetic modalities in my life, and I don't think any class I've ever been to really taught this like it needs to be taught. This is extremely important, and you have to be able to do this to move forward with anything else. I have focused on making this easy, and it's not about becoming clairvoyant and intuitive, it's about remembering that you're clairvoyant and intuitive. Next, you'll be learning to find and reprogram limiting beliefs, fears, and programs for yourself and with clients. So any coach knows this is extremely important. 95% of who we are is other people's beliefs or judgments or what has been programmed into our subconscious mind ever since we were born. And even some of the programs that we're bringing forward are within our DNA, so it's even before you are born. And it even goes deeper, and some of the programs and fears and beliefs start when you're in your mother's womb. So we'll be focusing on that as well. In order to truly manifest what you want in your life and to really shift energy and change and heal things that you want to heal in the way that you want to heal them, you have to access that frequency of all it is, of unconditional love. And that is where the heart and brain connection come in. And that's learning to access the field of the heart and the torsion fields in the field of the heart in order to connect with everything it is and do your healings and do your manifesting. I have found this next section extremely important when working with clients, and that is tracking energy and torsion fields to identify unhealthy coherent patterns, learning to collapse the stability of this pattern to recreate desired healthy patterns. So this is learning to track the energy of the unhealthy pattern within a client, how to develop what programs and fears are around it, collapsing that program through accessing the torsion fields and the energy and shifting it, and then reprogramming it to recreate the desired healthy patterns. You'll learn how to do this for clients, but also we're going to be doing this within you as well. The next section or module is body talk, and that's learning to communicate with the body and organs as a serving and conscious energy, harmonize and heal the physical body. Great for those who want to heal their own physical bodies and becoming medical intuitive. So this is talking to the organs as though they're conscious entities, because they are. Most of the time, or all the time, your body is part of who you are. It's part of your being. So if something goes wrong with your body, it thinks it's helping you. So you learn to communicate with the organs. You learn to pair this with the tracking of the energy, and you can really make a difference when working with the physical body. This next module is always fun and exciting, and this is learning to communicate with spirit guides, guardian angels, and deceased loved ones, and even spirit animals as well. So you'll be meeting your spirit guides, we'll be calling forth spirit guides that want to come to you to help you, and then you'll be learning to do this with your clients. This next module is super fun. It's working in the matrix of the hologram with parallel realities and how to shift energy in this state. There's so much you can do when you access your parallel realities and you're working in the matrix of the hologram, because you can borrow information, you can go into parallel lifehoods that you may be living, but we'll get into that when we do the module. The next module is how to manifest a twin flame or soulmate or your soul family as well. This is very important for you as a person who wants to have wealth in all areas of their life, and you will have If you're deciding to do this for a career and you want to do some healing work or energy work, you're going to have a lot of clients who come to you wanting to manifest their twin flame or soulmate. So this is always fun and exciting, and I really look forward to this as well. The next module is learning neurolinguistic programming. I was in school for 9 years in psychology, and I took a 13-day, 12-hour each day class on neurolinguistic programming. It was rather intense, but it taught me more in those 13 days for 12 hours each day than my whole entire graduate school and undergraduate school combined. This is extremely powerful in working with clients, and in my opinion, if you're going to coach or you're going to do spiritual work, part of that is talking to your clients, and you must have this component to be successful when you're working with people. I became a certified hypnotherapist in 2005, and I've been using this ever since. And I find that when you're doing energy work with people and you want to get them in the theta wave state, or you're doing a manifestation with them, learning hypnosis and understanding hypnosis is extremely important. So in this module, we're going to be putting you under hypnosis and giving you some good subconscious reinforcement, and you're going to be learning how to do this with clients as well. So this is really fun and exciting. Now we are on to DNA activations, and this is so much fun, so empowering, and really helps to get your vibrational frequency up. You're going to be clearing your DNA, reprogramming it, and activating the dormant DNA within your body. You're going to be doing this for yourself and learning how to do it for your clients as well. Muscle testing and kinesiology. This has been used for quite some time, even in Chinese medicine. It's a great way to test the physical body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body when working on it and determining where dis-ease or illness is, or determining what's working on the body and what's not working on the body. It's a useful tool in working remotely with clients as well as one-on-one with clients. So you're going to learn how to do this for yourself and on your clients as well. The next module will be on how to activate Kundalini, balance the divine masculine and feminine. What this is opening up all of the chakras, balancing the divine masculine with the divine feminine within, which is the activation of the Kundalini. Also, within this segment, you will be learning about how this leads right into Tantra, what Tantra is, and how to do Tantra for yourself, and also how to work with clients in reference to this as well. This next segment or module is how to communicate with starseed frequencies, how to work with starseed clients, and what this means. This is very invaluable because my main spirit guides and my guardian parents are from the starseed frequency or the blue ray frequency, and they have made me come tremendously far in my life. So you'll learn how to manifest your starseed guardian parents, as well as talk to the starseed guardian parents of your clients. When this first came into my life, which was probably about 2007 or 8, I got a message to read Bringers of the Dawn. And I didn't know why, but I read that book and it changed my entire life. And then all of a sudden, my first client came who was starseed. And then I completely understood why I got the message to read the book, because unless I would have known about this, I wouldn't have been able to help her. So this is going to be very useful to you to bring these frequencies in your life. But also, if you're going to do energy work, you will get a client who is of a starseed frequency. So it's very important that you know what this is and how to work with them. In this module, we'll be talking about the blue ray frequencies, which are similar to starseed, but a little bit different. And you'll be getting an amazing blue ray activation, which I channeled about 3 years ago, going through the forearms and into the hands. You'll be getting this in the form of a meditation and an activation. It's very divine. And this will be used while working on your clients as well. It helps to heighten your clairvoyance, your intuition, and allow you to see behind a veil that is separating us from that frequency. So I think that this is a gift, and this is part of your certification, because you're going to be certified as a ZeroPoint acceleration practitioner at the completion of this course as well. The next module is learning to work with the shadow self and the shadow energy. I have found that this is quite important when working with clients. I've found this even when I was a psychologist, that this was important, and into my integrative practice doing spiritual work and energy work. People spend a long time and a lot of time hiding that part of them that they don't like, that part where they think is bad and dirty and evil. That is the shadow part of you. The beautiful aspect of being human is to be able to take what you call your shadow self and combine it with your light self and transcend who you are into this amazing, wise being. It's really stepping into your power and owning who you are and owning your truth. You'll be doing this for yourself and learning how to do it with your clients. Next, for those who are thinking about seeing clients or want to be coaches, is how to prepare for a session ahead of time energetically, how to facilitate the session from beginning to end and what the flow will look like, and how to transition the session for the client. And what that means is when you're done with the client, when you're either done getting off the phone or you're doing Skype, how to transition them for the change that is about to come. I put this in the course because of popular demand, and that is clearing land, buildings, and inanimate objects. I used to have this in just the library, but there was a lot of people that were working with real estate or wanting to sell their homes. So inanimate objects, lands, buildings, they all hold the discarnate energy and programs that humans do. So when you clear this and you reprogram it, you would be amazed at how fast you can get real estate to sell, or how things can change within the land, how families can become happier. So this is a really interesting and exciting part of the course as well. Also, there has been some people that have taken this part of the course, and that's what they do. They'll go and they will market themselves by clearing land, working with real estate owners or real estate agents, and reprogramming the house to sell, or even going to different like Indian tribes and working with their land. So this is actually a niche in the energy market. And if you're interested in this and you find it something that you really catch on to and you're able to do effortlessly and easily, you can market this as well at the ending of the course. Okay, now we're getting down to business. And what I mean is we're getting into the business section of this course, and that is how to get yourself up and running and starting your business, or taking the current business you have to a whole different level. And you can see why the first part of this is necessary, because we've done the detox and the reprogramming, and now you're ready to go. So we want to align your personal chakras with your business chakras. That's extremely important. When you start a business, it's always from the pure intent and the passion of what you think it's going to be. We need to make sure that it stays in alignment with your heart, and that business becomes your purpose. You are the purpose. You are your own work. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically like you're stepping in your truth. You are aligning your chakras with the purpose of your life, which is the business that you're deciding to do, and then making that coherent and one with the 0 point, so that wealth is just a side effect. Financial wealth is just a side effect. Now you're going to learn how to organically and naturally develop your business. You're going to have a prosperity consciousness. That means your consciousness is prosperity. Everything you do will bring in prosperity and abundance. How to do this, how to get into this mindset. You know, the millionaire mindset, the billionaire mindset, is a whole different energy. And that's what you'll be learning as well in the business section of this course. The next module is learn how to organically and naturally develop your business. Learn how to engage and leverage yourself with social media without stress or fear. Also, how to work from anywhere in the world and make money online. This is extremely important. You know, I talk to some people and they're like, okay, I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to market myself. And that's not what I'm asking you to do. In a way, yes, but no, this is going to be through who you are. It's not going to be stressful. And if you think about it, if you think about creator of all that is and us being connected with everything, that is the internet. That is social media. So you're going to leverage yourself in a way where, you know, you're impervious to any negative energy. So the people that'll come to you, it'll be very organic. They'll just be like, I saw this about you. I was just attracted to this about you. They're going to be coming to you. So this is actually a fun and exciting section. You don't look at it as a headache, but wow, everything I've just done in this course, and now it's paying off. In another module, you'll be learning how to create websites, logos, and mission statements while having fun and being you. After all, you are your purpose. I always enjoy this part of it because I really get to find out what people are all about. And they get so happy when they realize that all they have to do is say their inner desires, and that's a mission statement. We're going to have some fun with this, and I really look forward to working with you.